Folks, I said there'd be surprises, and surprises there are. MJ Ferrantino has acquired the services of Ken Kennedy, who makes his RWL Legends Division return tonight against the model Rick Martel. Will wonders never cease.
This next contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing 230 pounds, it's the model Rick Martel.
Johnny and I, we only just heard about this coming into the arena today, and it was a total double whammy. Not only has Ken Kennedy returned after literally years away from our WL, but signed to the ever-expanding roster of manager MJ Ferrantino. This guy's stable is reaching baseball team proportions. And you say you had nothing to do with the tax.
Nope.
That Ferrantino's made this deal, this acquisition, on his own initiative.
His own initiative, correctamundo. Rick Martel about to meet Ken Kennedy in his return match to the RWL Legends Division. This ought to be pretty good. Looking forward to it myself.
His opponent accompanied by manager Matthew James Ferrantino. He will be introducing himself.
Buck Morton sounds pretty put off, man. He will be introducing himself. Well, Ken Kennedy, well known for introducing himself, but coming in, backed up by Matthew James Ferrantino. Again, listen, I had absolutely nothing to do with it. It isn't even my money. Ferrantino just went ahead and did this all by him. He is making deals all over the place again. Him and Sylvia Strong both negotiating for the services of American powers. And that's still being sorted out.
He's waiting for the microphone to descend from the rafters, isn't he? And he's about to be disappointed, isn't he? Didn't anyone advise Ken Kennedy that we don't do that here?
Oh, no worries, GB. I do believe he just found it out for himself. No worries, microphone's right there in the corner. He'll figure it out. Well, hello. I do believe here in business here. Let's see what Ken Kennedy got to say after all this time.
Good evening, Fort Worth. Let me say first what a thrill and sagacious joy it is to be back in the ring. And what a joy it is to be back as part of the RWL Legends Division. Because how can you have a Legends Division without me, huh? Am I right? Well, I also want to thank Mr. MJ Ferrantino, the only MJF that matters, for giving me the opportunity. And tonight, Rick Martel, you're about to be schooled by the man from Green Bay, Wisconsin, weighing 246 pounds, Mr. Kennedy.
I bet he's happy to have that out of his system after such a long time. Rick Martel and Mr. Kennedy, wow. This is gonna be good. The ref sounds the bell. Kick to the leg from Rick Martel. Mr. Kennedy with a chop across the chest. Rick Martel counters. Mr. Kennedy counters too. Nails him with a backbreaker. Mr. Kennedy with a neckbreaker on Rick Martel. Follows it up with a stomp in the face. Mr. Kennedy drives a knee into the back of the head of Rick Martel. Rick Martel whips Kennedy to the rope to corner. A fireman's carry from Mr. Kennedy. A forearm. Rick Martel whipped to the ropes. A collision with no result. Rick Martel with a forearm. Mr. Kennedy with a kick and a jumping neckbreaker. Takes Rick Martel down. Martel up over the shoulders of Mr. Kennedy. Looking for, there it is. Snake eyes right across the top turnbuckle for the model. Kennedy with an assist alley-oop out of the corner. Quick counter from Rick Martel. Mr. Kennedy with a running kick. Rick Martel right down again, a fist drop. From Mr. Kennedy, a kick to the back. Rick Martel back standing up, but Kennedy with a kick. And a nice scoop slam. Mr. Kennedy with a right to Rick Martel. Whip to the far corner. Kennedy right there spins him around. Inverted Russian leg sweep face first right into the canvas for Rick Martel. Martel counters with an arm drag. Back up on his feet. An elbow right to the top of the head. Mr. Kennedy counters with a left. A couple of rights. Rick Martel back in the fourth corner again. Martel turns him around. Has him up on the top turnbuckle. That's going to be bad news for the model. Off the middle rope. Oh, man. What a slam to Rick Martel. Mr. Kennedy going right back to work on a down Rick Martel flip over necklift. Rick Martel trying to get back to his feet, but no doubt so far a leg snap from Mr. Kennedy isn't going to help. MJ Ferrantino acquiring the services of Mr. Kennedy. How about this? A clothesline from Rick Martel. Martel rounds up Kennedy, whips him to the corner, clothesline to the back of the head. Down goes Ken Kennedy. Rick Martel decides to go for the leg. An elbow right into the leg of Mr. Kennedy. Martel drags Kennedy center ring. Starts to snap the leg again. Rick Martel rounds him up. Just about center ring now. Over the top rope, out onto the floor. MJ Ferrantino looking on. Kennedy counters with a shot to the midsection. Martel counters with a kick. Mr. Kennedy with a forearm. Up over the shoulders goes Rick Martel. Rick Martel counters it into an inverted DDT. The referee now counting Mr. Kennedy. MJ Ferrantino not even daring to help up Mr. Kennedy. Kennedy grabs a hold of him, hangs him up off the top rope from the outside. Has Rick Martel up over the shoulders. Face first flapjack to Rick Martel. Martel counters with a shoulder tackle. Rick Martel countered by Mr. Kennedy with an arm drag. Kennedy rounds him up. Vertical suplex from Ken Kennedy. Rick Martel rounded up again. Kennedy with a hard DDT right into the heart of the logo. Right center ring. Mr. Kennedy rolls Rick Martel over, covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Referee Anthony Corallo says only 2. Mr. Kennedy stopping the model Rick Martel here. Kennedy runs up the arm. Martel counters with a forearm. And a running crossbody takes Ken Kennedy down. Here's a cover. 1, 2. Quick pin attempt from Rick Martel, but only a 2 count, only a near fall from Ken Kennedy. Rick Martel with the leg swept. Mr. Kennedy, well, he's a master of showboating, in addition to having a big mouth. Rounds up Rick Martel, running clothesline. A second one. Here's a rebound off the ropes. A beautiful kick takes Rick Martel down to the canvas. Mr. Kennedy rounds him up. And there's another DDT. Right center Rick Martel quickly rolls back to his feet. Surprise. Ken Kennedy catches a series of kicks to the leg. Ken Kennedy counters with a right. Rick Martel catches a nasty forearm. Ken Kennedy with Rick Martel up over the shoulders. Slams him down. Here's a Michinoku driver with a cover. 1, 2, 3, and that's the wrap. Ken Kennedy is back and defeats Rick Martel in his return.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 5 minutes and 54 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Mr. Kennedy.
Everybody wants to get into the act, including Buck Morton. Wow, that was great.
Another stunning acquisition for the Ferrantino stable, as Ken Kennedy returns with the 3-count win over Rick Martel. It's definitely been a night for surprises, and Mr. Kennedy could be yet another piece in Ferrantino's chess game with Scott Bell, Lars Sullivan, Gene Snitsky, and now Ken Kennedy. This kid's borderline terrifying.
Well, he did that one in Gene Snitsky all by himself. I did not give him a lick of help. I did not open my checkbook to sign for $1. He did that all by himself. MJ Ferrantino, indeed, starting to build himself up quite an army. All right, folks, we'll be right back with more RWL Snarl right after the break. Stick around.